Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today, as usual. I know today for XRP holders was absolutely fantastic because today we just got to witness live the launch of a new payment system called FedNow. And actually, Ripple's Dilip happened to make a comment about it today on Twitter. More specifically, like less than an hour ago, he tweeted out something publicly on Twitter regarding the new FedNow payment system. So, if you guys weren't there at the stream, let me give you guys a quick recap. Whether or not you were in the stream today, I mean, still watch this video. It's still new information we're going to go over. So what happened was we knew this was going to be about faster payments. That was 100% fact. Really, all the information we got was that, hey, Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainard is going to make a speech on payments. But it's obviously going to be about their, their progress on a new faster payments 24/7, 365 real-time gross settlement system. And Congress is demanding it. Everyone's demanding it. All the stakeholders in this initiative are demanding it. 90% of them are. So what did the Federal Reserve do? They came out and they created FedNow. And Dilip happened to make a little comment on this, even though Ripple was not mentioned in that live stream at all, even though it was really described. I will admit, now Dilip has something to say about it. Coincidentally, does follow me on Twitter. So he says, less than an hour ago, great move. FedNow will drive the transformation to real-time payments infrastructure around the world, both domestic and cross-border, and then adds in the @Ripple mission Internet of Value. Now, guys, I'm not saying that Dilip is saying that the FedNow platform is leveraging Ripple, but he could be insinuating that, hey, just faster payments in general are going to benefit the internet value and the Ripple mission of that. But I mean, guys, Ripple was not mentioned at all. And this is the only person I have seen from a private sector company to come out today and actually make a statement on the new FedNow platform. I mean, and also, he knows that it's both domestic and cross-border, which wasn't really clarified in today's live stream. So I wonder how he knows about that, even though this tweet is nothing to do with cross-border payments. Right. So, again, let's read it one more time. From Dilip, great move. FedNow will now drive the transformation to real-time payments infrastructure around the world, both domestic and cross-border, @Ripple mission Internet of Value. And that's where I just go, Dilip, can we please warm up our jets? Because this new FedNow payment system, 24/7, 365 real-time gross clearing and settlement service to support faster payments. And what was the main thing we learned today? That there was going to be a sole provider for the technology in FedNow. There was going to be a private sector engagement, specifically private sector, which is Ripple. And by the way, people are saying like, oh, isn't the Fed the private sector? Well, technically they aren't government. They are technically a private sector, but they are referring to themselves as the Fed working with the private sector. And also was stated in the live stream today that the new settlement process would be bi-directional directly between two banks. See, the current correspondent banking model with cross-border payments, it goes from the sender to the central bank to the corresponding liquidity provider to the FX market to the other side's corresponding liquidity provider, the other side's central bank, and the other side's beneficiary bank. So it's going through a lot of hoops. It's not just going through one bank to another. It's going through a numerous amount of entities and then end up getting to the destination. That's why it takes 2 to 6 days. But guys, in today's live stream with Lion Braid, or what was her name again? That was a really weird name. Lael Brainard. Okay, what she was saying is that the new settlement system would be having banks send payments directly to each other. It's a direct payment route. It's not jumping through a bunch of hoops. It's like Ripple, where it's just you got one institution on the network and you got another institution on the network, and then they pair up through one payment, and it is a bank-to-bank transfer streamlined. Okay, just bank-to-bank immediate transfers just between the two banks. That's what the one thing that really made me go, okay, this has a really good chance at being Ripple. Maybe XRP, who knows, because this does have to do with both domestic and cross-border, confirmed by Dilip. So not only is it just direct payments between two banks, it's literally going from one bank to the other, not going through any SWIFT or any other, weird correspondent inefficient model. And by the way, not to mention that in the live stream, they say that they have not seen this kind of change to the payment industry for 40 years since the automated clearinghouse was established. So they're clearly making the point that, yeah, this is a complete overhaul. This is a completely new payment system. This is like brand new stuff, okay? And the main thing, it's a sole provider, and it's clearly that sole provider is from the private sector. They said that like 20 times in the stream today. And also, it is direct transfers between banks. One bank to another through one service, not through SWIFT, not through pre-funded correspondent banking accounts. Let's check this out from Matthew Liny. New FedWire faster payments, or FedNow, could provide liquidity and reduce amount of money in pre-funded accounts. And look at that, the Federal Reserve is now talking about reducing the amount of money in these offshore fiat accounts, and the fiat is really just parked there just for the simple aspect of sending a payment. They have to send money and store cash over there. They have to store their own local fiat currency over there just to get a payment through. But now, with this new FedNow payment service, they could reduce the amount of money in pre-funded accounts. Let's give this a read. Specifically, if the Federal Reserve were to offer expanded FedWire Funds Service, or NSS hours, those services could enable access to liquidity during non-standard business hours. Again, that's why it's 24/7, 365. It's a 100% constantly operating system. Again, what is a completely operating system that operates all the time 24/7? The XRP ledger. Okay, like other banks we've seen that hop onto XRapid and use XRP for payments. They are actually seeing business hours 24/7 because it, in a sense, is sort of like an artificial intelligence. It takes care of the whole process. Once it's initiated, it takes care of the whole process there. So that's why they're able to provide this constantly. Unlike the current system where, you can only get transfers certain hours during the day. I mean, come on, the 70s, this is almost 2020 here. We need to have a much, much better payment system, and the Federal Reserve realizes that because of the pressure that they were brought upon them to build a new, faster payment system. Listen to this. We'll keep reading. With expanded FedWire Funds Service, or NSS hours, direct participants in the private sector real-time gross settlement system, there it is again, private sector, again, because the government does not adopt, or the government does not create, the government adopts, so they're taking a technology from the private sector. Real-time gross settlement service may be able to reduce the amount of pre-funding, in particular on weekends and holidays. This reduction in pre-funding could then reduce the amount of liquidity committed to the joint account and allow more funds to remain in participants' master accounts, where those funds could accrue interest. Basically saying, what happens when you start using Ripple and XRP? You unleash capital, because now you have that new source of liquidity called XRP. And now that's available 24/7, and there's no longer the need to park local currency in offshore accounts. That is, again, the bank has to pay costs on, because no one's just going to hold your fiat for free, right? So you see what we're really getting at here. Really interesting, right? You also have to consider the stream before this one. There was one back in October of 2018, and it was Federal Reserve Governor Lionel Brainard, and it was a speech on payments. In that specific speech, and we went over this in like a video on my channel, I think 2 days ago, or no, from yesterday. The first video I posted yesterday, we went over this. And she made it very clear that in this last speech, pre-FedNow announcement, she says, yes, because, we're considering, the technology underlying cryptocurrencies, and they hold a lot of promise and potential for delivering new, faster real-time payments. So it's funny how when they're not announcing the new FedNow system, they start going, oh yeah, the DLT technology, the blockchain that underlies cryptocurrency. Yes, very, very promising. We like this technology. We got Ripple's Ryan Zagone on the board of directors at the Faster Payments Task Force, and Ripple's been working with the Federal Reserve for 3 years, and they were the only applicant who used a digital asset to source liquidity on their new Faster Payment Task Force proposals. So why is it that the stream before this one last year in October of 2018, she finds the distributed ledger technology underlying crypto assets very, very promising. And then all of a sudden, they come out today. They go, here, we got a new FedNow system, 24/7 real-time gross settlement system provided by a sole provider from the private sector, and can end up, reducing the amount of money that you need to keep in these Nostro Vostro accounts. What does XRP do? Unlock capital from Nostro Vostro. What's the Federal Reserve saying? That this reduction in pre-funding could then reduce the amount of liquidity committed to the joint account and allow more funds to remain in participants' master accounts, where those funds could accrue interest. So banks are not only looking at getting their money back out of these accounts, but also taking that money back and then reinvesting it into another account to actually accrue interest, instead of having it be a burden over in another country. So, the previous live stream, yeah, crypto asset, the technology underlying it, very, very promising. We like it. We're really considering it. Then they announced the FedNow, and they are very, very vague about it. They are so vague in how they discussed about this real-time payment system. But guys, what really gives it away is the fact that this new system is going to allow banks to reduce pre-funding. And also, what gave it away, to me, what really gave it away was the reducing the pre-funding, and the fact that this is a direct payment route. This is, I forget the exact verbiage she used. It was very intelligent, like a really good way to describe it. But essentially, it's between two banks. There are no other intermediaries in the middle. I really want to know what they called it. Like, did they call it direct access or something like that? But really, the point being, the transactions are going to be taking place directly between two banks. There's no intermediary. Guys, what new, faster, real-time payments, 24/7 real-time gross settlement system that allows banks to transact directly with each other at a cheaper cost, faster, instantly, and allow them to reduce pre-funding and reduce the amount of liquidity? I mean, guys, this, and especially with Dilip Rao coming out and all of a sudden tweeting out, oh, both domestic and cross-border Ripple mission IOV. Guys, I mean, come on. This has Ripple and XRP written all over it. These years of research we've had, where we've uncovered documents of the Federal Reserve and the Faster Payments Task Force and how they related to Ripple, yeah, all that research is paying off, because now the puzzle pieces are coming together for us, and the fruition of the Faster Payments Task Force is now at hand, and that is the new FedNow payments, or the new FedNow payment service. Also, by the way, this new payment service will be available to all of the banks in the US, specifically 10,000 that the Federal Reserve is working with under their umbrella. So they're also, if this is truly Ripple enabled, guys, oh my God, this is going to be available for all the banks in the US to use. I mean, at this point, this is just absolutely breathtaking. What we've heard today, the key phrases that really just gave it away for us. And now Dilip Rao coming out and saying, this will drive transformation to real-time payments infrastructure around the world, both domestic and cross-border. Then tags Ripple mission IOV. Guys, find me another payment company that made any comment publicly on Twitter about the FedNow payment service. Because how come Dilip Rao does this so quickly and tags Ripple and IOV? Oh, by the way, one more thing to note. This new faster real-time gross settlement system, and by the way, they did really make sure to emphasize that in the stream. It's also faster payments and settlement, not just faster payments. And also, guess what messaging standard it runs on? ISO 20022. What is Ripple? ISO 20022. Guys, there is nothing more to say. This is absolutely groundbreaking, and it is happening right in front of our eyes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning the stream today. Thank you so much for tuning the video today. Really do appreciate it. Make sure to smash the likes and subscribe. Really would appreciate it. Check the links in the description. Get yourself Nano S. Keep that cryptocurrency nice, safe, and offline. Check below the description. Get yourself some sweet Ripple XRP merch. And as always, hit the post notification so you never miss a video or stream. And as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And Ripple, Federal Reserve, how they launch a new FedNow real-time gross clearing and settlement system, both domestic and cross-border. Dilip Brown, for some reason, decided to comment on that. Guys, I don't believe in coincidences. Look at the live stream. Read the recaps that's going to come out today from various Twitter accounts that are going to, specifically quote statements from this live stream. I mean, there are many, many key phrases that direct us to this being Ripple. All right. The United States Federal Reserve using Ripple. Again, not 100% confirmed, but it's damn near there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in the video today. I'll see you guys in the next one.